Hi, I'm Hardscape Nate with Rosetta Hardscapes. Welcome to another quick tips installation video where today we're going to be highlighting the Kodah Fire Pit kit. We have a couple of our finishing tools here, our hammer, level, and our adhesive. We've got our steel insert here off to my left. And a little tip here, I've got it placed right where my fire pit kit's going to be installed. So I'm going to use this as a little bit of a template to get my first two blocks set so I know that I'm square working off the edge. Let's get started. All right, so let's dive into this. We're gonna start by taking our first block. We're gonna take off this first corner like I mentioned, making life easier with our grab-o. So we're gonna set him down, making sure I leave a little bit of space at that base of the steel insert. We wanna make sure there's some airflow there. So we got our first piece in. Now we're gonna come back across and we'll set our depth here on the end based on our next block coming across here. So now I've squared up, again, leaving a gap or an air gap in between here to help with heat. Set my first block. I'm using this secondary block here coming back across to set my depth here. Now I can work all the way around and get my first course in. Now something to notice as I've gone around, you've got a tapered edge on one side. So you've got three finished edges in a taper. So you got a left and a right, just making sure those two tapers line up and you're good to go. So now that I got my first course in, did it by using that steel insert, I'm gonna be able to pull this out, sweep off the top, and be able to test fit my second course. Run my level across, double check a couple of spots, setting this down on my base. So I'm not setting this on the bedding sand. I want this actually down on the base material, my 3/4 dense or even my open graded. And then I'll bring my bedding sand or a 3/8 chip, whatever you're gonna screed in for your pavers. That'd come afterwards, and then you place your pavers. So going through and making sure everything's level. There we go. And we are looking good. Now, our second course, because we came along here with the long edge on the first one, we're gonna bring our second course over the top to break our bond line. And then we'll continue to work so that we make sure that we break each subsequent bond line with that next course. So I've made sure that my finished edge is always facing out, like that bottom one, this top one, making sure my tapers line up. Now that I got my second course on, I've test fit it. I don't want to glue it right away because I want to drop my insert back in, make sure everything fits just the way I want it. And I'll use my mallet, go around, make any small tweaks. And the nice thing about Kodah is this natural raw textured face. Has some undulating concave convex area, so just double checking, make sure it looks like it fits nice, knowing that you're gonna have some of these little alcoves, gives it that beautiful look. I think I'm looking pretty good here. Now we'll slide our insert back in. And this has a 3-inch overlapped flange that'll sit right on the top of our Kodah block, so we don't have to worry about trying to fit this under or any kind of gaps. Sits right up top. My block inside here is protected from open flame. All that's left to do is go back through. We'll use our adhesive. We're using the type 3.1 super wet here from Probst. This is super nice. If you're working in the rain like it is today, luckily we're inside. If you got wet block, this stuff is meant to be on saturated blocks, saturated pavers. It actually works better. So if you're in a nice sunny, hot, dry day, wet down your block a little bit, throw this glue on, this adhesive, and it binds really well. So that's what we're gonna use on our second course. And all that's left to do is throw some wood in here and get some s'mores. Thank you for joining me on this quick tip install video featuring our Kodah Fire Pit. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.